Why is the internet obsessed with Elon Musk? Cause he's literally the owner of a multi-million-dollar company yet actually seems more like one of us. Perfectly said. Hes hilarious. Hes basically a 12-year-old trapped in an adult's body, a filthy rich adult's body. Also genius. He's smart, rich and eccentric. Basically he's interesting, and people are jealous of him or admire him. He doesn't give. Stop cursing you son of, you gonna get this video demonetized. Damn it, let's finish. That's why. He's a billionaire. Clearly drinks and smoked weed on Joe Rogan. He got banned from being an officer of a public company for tweeting an IPO price that never existed. He married the same model twice. He launches his own car into space with a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on the display and plays David Bowie while he does it. He's appealing in the same way death metal is. It's transgressive to mainstream social norms. And many of us enjoy that. Literally real life Tony Stark. Or Nicholas Tesla. Nikola asterisk. Ups my mistake. French native speaker. He sunk a lot of money into a PR blitz. Just like Richard Branson did in the 90s. It's the only Musk you can smell through the internet. Because he is a douchebag like everyone else on the internet. Hes not a douchebag WTF. Hes an eccentric man-child genius. Is Iron Man also a douchebag? Yes, that's a central point of several of the movies. Seems like you're just a salty paw. Seems like you missed the fact that a huge part of Tony's character arc from Iron Man to Endgame was his transition from self-centered jackass to sacrifice himself for the good of all life. Do you really think that the Tony Stark of the original Iron Man would be willing to do what he does in Endgame? Cap points this out in Avengers and he spends most of the series working to overcome the fact that he is, for lack of a better word, a douchebag. He's a meme. NASA frankly hasn't done anything exciting or notable to the common Joe for some time. Elon is one of the few making real dedicated efforts to get humans into a spacefaring species, plus he's weird and kind of fun. He's basically the greatest contrast to most other millionaire geniuses. Take any other genius CEO millionaire type, i.e. Mark Zuckerberg. They act, behave and post with through a business PR perspective. How does this reflect my company? You go to any of their pages, and you'll find the same robotic tweets and content. But then you go to Musk and it's memes and tweets. Honestly, it shows that Musk doesn't give a shit about what he says on the internet. He does what others just assume to be impossible, which makes the future interesting again. He gives hope, so to speak. He did the meme review. He does memes. He has a sense of humor. He's a multi-billionaire. He made a meme, Cybertruck, and I guess that's about it. Self-promotion through media and people eat up the image that he is selling. Some people think he's the greatest, much like some people thought Steve Jobs was. They need to idolize someone. Then there are those that think he's a bit of a pretentious cunt and are waiting to see how far he can stick his head up his own ass. He's a living meme generator. He's the owner of a multi-million-dollar company and yet acts like the average person, which helps people relate to him. It's hard to relate to someone who acts all hoity-toity, who eats caviar all day and talks about the latest stock market situation. Elon Musk is just relatable. He also launched a car into space just to prove the power of his rocket payload system, so that's something I hope gets recorded in history books. Because he's a mad genius. Who else other than Cards Against Humanity could sell out a branded fire extinguisher. Most of net loves him, because as a meme I personally enjoy him. Because he just seems like a guy trying to bridge being highly successful but also radically eccentric in a non-asshole way. He built a flamethrower for fun. People seem to like him because they see him as an eccentric Tony Stark type who is also down to earth. Because he posts old memes on Twitter and promises wacky and cool things. The reality is he's just your run-of-the-mill billionaire who just happens to spend money on forward-thinking businesses like Tesla and SpaceX. Even if they struggle to make a profit sometimes. But by all accounts, he's also not a very nice man in private, and he certainly has an ego and has proven he can't take criticism without losing his temper. It's self-explanatory. Well, until 2 years ago I thought Elon Musk was an aftershave. He's practically the second coming, and people have to deep throat the flavor of the month. It's entirely too out of hand. Because it's Globe. Because noon makes us cringe more than Elon Musk. He is everything we all want to be. Eccentric multi-billionaire with wild dreams of space colonization. He poses as the man of the people. He doesn't really care about what you or I do, as long as you think of him as the man of the people. He'll get off to that idea. Because of Cat Gerald. Because of his hair plugs. Because he gets shit done. Can you name another human being doing more for humanity's future? He the Tesla of the 21st century. Because space exploration excites the human mind like few other things do. And until he came on the scene, we were probably at one of the lowest points I've ever seen for human space exploration. Honestly think how space exploration would look right now if he hadn't started SpaceX. I think we would look at space exploration like something our parents and grandparents did that just wasn't possible anymore. Him talking NASA almost totally deafened kind of level. That combined with personally taking a swing at a ton of other climate change possible solutions, and he basically took over for doing all the big things the government should be doing, except just because he wanted to. Well, he is probably gonna colonize Mars, and he isn't even government funded. I don't think so, at least. Just visit his Twitter. He is a legend. He's a seeming success story of someone able to stay true to themselves despite becoming insanely rich. What's your problem with Elon? It seems you already have a history of being confused by him. Just love that new Tesla smell. They don't have new car smell, they have an Elon Musk. Because he has a really nice hair, dude. Some rich guy actually spending his money for tangible things. He is the prime example of the bullied kid becoming a millionaire. Short answer, he promised Nekus. Long answer, he makes the impossible possible. He's trying to colonize Mars. He does not give a fuck about what others think about what he is doing. He is just great. It's just they could have done anything. And it's just Elon Tusk. It's kinda funny, dude. Has anyone seen the movie Tusk? That's some disturbing shit. His episode on Joe Rogan is pretty solid, plus he smokes weed. End of the day, it wasn't a mutual agreement. They were free to report. Certainly they realized they just lost Musk as a source for doing so. However, black and white, Musk blew himself up, but I'm not sure BuzzFeed didn't burn itself for this story. I mean, really, how has society advanced by this story? He-mans. Just love that new Tesla smell. They don't have new car smell, they have an Elon Musk. What's your problem with Elon? It seems you already have a history of being confused by him. It's the only Musk you can smell through the internet. He sunk a lot of money into a PR blitz. Just like Richard Branson did in the 90s. Literally real life Tony Stark. He's smart, rich and eccentric. Basically he's interesting, and people are jealous of him or admire him.